Sometimes a story that's 60 years old can ask questions that feel like they were written yesterday. Questions about power, loneliness, and what it really truly means to be human. Today, we're diving into the tragic story of Charlie Evans.
When Captain Raymart says this, you can just feel it. It's not just pity in his voice. There's this undercurrent of real, unsettling fear. And right away, you're hooked. You just have to know, who is this boy Charlie? So, picture this. We're way out on the frontier of space. The Starship Enterprise pulls up alongside this little cargo ship, the Antares. Their mission seems simple enough. Pick up one passenger. But this isn't just any passenger. He's the only person to survive a wreck that happened 14 years ago.
Okay, let's just lay out the facts here. Charlie Evans, he's 17, and he's been completely alone since he was 3 years old. Think about that. His only education, his only window into the human race, came from the ship's computer tapes. He learned about people from a database. How could you even begin to understand society that way?
And right away, we get our first major red flag. Captain Kirk offers the Antares crew everything. Supplies, a checkup, even some good old-fashioned brandy. But Captain Raymart wants none of it. He is visibly tense, almost panicked, and he cannot wait to get Charlie off his ship. What does this guy know that the Enterprise crew is about to find out?
So Charlie is now aboard the Enterprise, a massive ship with a crew of over 400 people. And for him, it's like being dropped on an alien world. He tries so hard to fit in, but his attempts are, well, they're awkward, they're painful, and they tell us everything we need to know about him.
Because underneath all that strange, clumsy behavior, what Charlie wants is something every single one of us can understand. He is just desperate for a connection.
He says this to Yeoman Rand, and it's just so raw and direct, it's heartbreaking. After 14 years of nothing but silence, all he wants is for someone to like him. The tragedy, of course, is that he has absolutely no clue how to make that happen.
Essentially, Charlie is going through all the chaos of adolescence in a matter of days. The intense feelings, the social awkwardness, the identity crisis, it's all there. But for Charlie, this totally normal phase of life comes with, let's just call it a dangerous twist. And the results are, well, they're a train wreck. He has zero concept of personal space or social cues. When Kirk tries to give him the facts of life talk, it just goes right over his head. Charlie literally can't understand why he can't just have what he wants. He's learned facts from a computer, but he never learned a single thing about empathy from a person.
And this is where the story just completely shifts gears. What started as social awkwardness quickly starts to look like something way, way more sinister. Charlie's strange little talents begin to show up, and they go from being kind of weird to downright terrifying.
It starts small, a simple card trick. Then he makes real turkeys appear out of nowhere. Okay, weird, but harmless. But then the Antares, the ship that just dropped him off, explodes, and Charlie seems to know about it before anyone else. And the final straw? He beats Mr. Spock at 3D chess by just making a piece vanish into thin air. His power is growing, and so is the crew's fear.
And that's when it all clicks into place. Mr. Spock, the voice of pure logic, connects the dots. Charlie knowing about the Antares destruction before the official report comes in, that's the proof. Something happened to him on that planet. He was given a gift that is starting to look a lot more like a curse.
All right, so the secret's out. His powers are real, and his frustration with not fitting in is hitting its breaking point. Since he can't figure out the rules of human interaction, he decides to just rewrite them completely. He seizes control of the Enterprise, and everyone on board becomes his puppet.
So here's the billion-dollar question. What happens when you give absolute godlike power to an emotionally stunted, lonely teenager? You get absolute terror. Captain Kirk tells him he can't just have Yeoman Rand, and that one little word, no, is the trigger for everything that comes next. Charlie's rule is totally unpredictable. He uses his powers to humiliate the crew for fun, forcing the stoic Mr. Spock to recite poetry and laugh like a maniac. But then, it gets dark. A crewman laughs at him at the wrong time, and Charlie doesn't just hurt him, he makes him vanish. Poof, gone. After he makes Yeoman Rand disappear for rejecting him, he says this to Kirk. And it's just chilling. In that moment, he's decided that the pain and confusion of becoming human just isn't worth it. Why would you struggle to be a man when you can be a god?
So now they're trapped, completely at the mercy of this all-powerful teenager. Captain Kirk comes up with one last desperate plan. But the final answer to the Charlie problem, it comes from somewhere completely unexpected.
Kirk's idea is actually pretty genius. He figures Charlie's power must have some kind of limit. So he orders every single system on the ship turned on. Lights, shields, life support, the whole shebang, creating this massive power drain that Charlie has to constantly fight to control. And while Charlie's distracted, Kirk confronts him head-on.
Just as Kirk's plan is hitting its peak, this alien presence shows up, and suddenly we're faced with the story's ultimate moral dilemma. Does the Enterprise crew have the right to kill this kid to save their own lives? Or is the alternative, sending him back to this non-physical, lonely existence, even crueler? There are no good answers here. None at all.
And this is where we meet the Thasians. It turns out they're these non-physical energy beings. They're the ones who found little 3-year-old Charlie in the wreckage all those years ago. They gave him their powers so he could survive. It was an act of compassion, but they never taught him how to be human. And now they see the catastrophic mistake they made. He's just too dangerous to live among people.
As the Thasians begin to take him back, Charlie's terror is just absolute. He just got a small taste of human contact, of feeling something real, and now he's being dragged back to an existence without touch, without feeling, without love. It's a fate that sounds worse than death. He'll be safe, but he'll be utterly, completely alone. Forever.
And that leaves us with the big question. Was Charlie evil? Was he a monster? Or was he just a lonely, terrified kid who was given the power of a god with no one to teach him the first thing about being human? It's a question that sticks with you, about where we learn our humanity and the awesome responsibility that comes with power.